and Dr. Kelley Gebhardt is here answering your questions. It is Ask the Vet time. This person's asking, can I give my dog the leftover chicken wing bones?
That's unfortunately a big no. Bones, although chicken wings do generally digest pretty well after they're cooked, it's not recommended. Anything like bones that can break into fragments or shards or sharp pieces can cause intestinal foreign bodies or perforations, and it's just not a good idea. So I recommend no chicken bones or any bones of any sort. I've seen them cause cuts in the mouth, cuts in the esophagus, esophageal foreign bodies, intestinal foreign bodies. And again, chicken bones typically digest pretty well, but those sharp pieces pose a risk of really serious potential complications. So I recommend not doing it. Additionally, if there's a lot of seasoning or still fats and skin on the bones, it can cause pancreatitis or gastroenteritis.
Yeah, because their systems
ingestion
are not built to digest all that stuff.
Nope.
No, not all those spices. Okay. Now, the next question is kind of a follow-up. Are small servings of leftovers okay? I don't know what kind of leftovers they mean.
Right. I think it depends on what the leftovers are. A little bit, as long as your dog does not have a pre-existing issue with intestinal sensitivities, pancreatitis, things like that, food sensitivities, a little bit of a treat is fine. That's certainly up to your discretion based on your dog's history. Trying to keep those leftover treats to a small portion and healthy things like steamed veggies or breads or crackers or lean meats, those things are fine. Keeping away from the really spicy or fatty foods would be my recommendation, and doing it size appropriately. So if you have like an 8-pound dog, giving a little bit versus your Great Dane, which you could give a little, a size appropriate amount.
Okay. All right. This question is, how can I keep my dog calm when guests come over? And that is, a thing that's really hard to do, especially like when you're having that Super Bowl party, there's a lot of people coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there are a lot of things. It's a very kind of individual dog situation. Working on their behavior prior to people coming over is, I'd say, my first recommendation, getting them used to new people coming over, doing some behavioral modification in that way, having a squirt bottle available to, if you're not quite to the point where they're behaviorally ready to behave and not jump on people like my dogs. When people come over, you might need a squirt bottle to keep them, give a little squirt to keep them off of people, keep them from jumping. Another thing you could do is, create a safe place, put them in a different room with a treat, in a crate to keep them, calm, quiet, and contained. That's an option. There are other things like pheromone type sprays that can be used to help calm them down. If they're super excited and anxious, you may want to talk to your regular vet about medications to help decrease anxiety and excitement during that visit. And there are lots of safe meds that are very short, kind of short acting, or just overall dampen anxiety for 12 to 24 hours. So there's a whole spectrum of things you can do depending on your dog's age and your dog's needs.
And how much time you think you have to be able to do that before the next party or whatever. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. This person says, my dog gets UTIs a couple times a year. Is there something in her diet I could change or something else I could do to help reduce them?
That's, there are layers to that question. If they're recurrent urinary tract infections, it makes me wonder, so there are variables, the age of the dog, the anatomy of the dog that could lead to recurring urinary tract infections. If the dog has bladder stones or urinary crystals that can hang on to bacteria. If there's underlying kidney disease or diabetes. There are so many layers to this question, it's hard for me to answer. If there is an underlying urinary tract issue like kidney stones or urinary sediment, then there are urinary tract diets designed to maximize urinary health to help decrease the urinary issues. So that's definitely something to talk with your regular vet about, like what is the underlying cause for this recurrent urinary tract infection, because that's not normal. So getting to the underlying cause is the most important part to preventing the recurrence. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, instead of just being frustrated, oh, it's happening again, they need to definitely ask more questions and maybe have some more tests done to figure that out. Okay, this person says, I like this. I try to walk my cat and play with her before guests come, but she still gets anxious. What should I try?
Yeah, I tried that with our old cat before too. Didn't go so well. But now I use a harness for our new little 8-pound dog. So cat harness and an 8-pound dog worked great. But I would say, there are lots of different inside exercise ways to get out energy. So you could do a laser light, you know, one of those handheld lasers, that to get their energy out. You could throw a little kitty toy for them and get them to chase it. You can throw treats and they can chase the treats and then come back to you. There are catnip filled toys that you can entertain them with in a different room away from the guests. And you're giving them a safe place in a different room away from them will help decrease their anxiety. Those are some options that may help other than walking on a harness and a leash.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. We're going to take another quick break and be back with your text questions. Already I have, what kinds of pet-friendly desserts are healthier than others? If my dog gets into chocolate, what warning signs should I look for? And then natural food. So we're going to be tackling all those things when we come back.